Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your patience over the weekend. Obviously, I was traveling to San Diego, and if you didn't catch, kind of some of the pictures there, we had a good time. So little guys getting bigger. It's a lot of fun, and I want to say thank you again for all the support. Also, too, thank you for just some most wonderful feedback. Glad that Solana short 31% worked out for us. Same thing with AVAX short as well. While our Bitcoin target hasn't been achieved yet, we're still in the green on our average position. So I'm confident we'll hit that. But the truth is, Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength as well. If volume increases and continues, then we may actually see all-time highs again. But I think it's a little early to presume that's going to happen at this point. All that said, how does that factor into Solana? Well, there's a lot of things we want to pay attention to here. First of all, this short-term descending trend. It's quite obvious to me that you don't want to take it long until we break this descending trend line. But once more, it's easier said than done, because I know there's not like tremendous amount of opportunities sometimes to get in at the ground floor. So what we're going to look at is what is a good potential low to try to buy for Solana and see if it's worthwhile. For right now, though, we are in a descending trend. Generally, it's best not to just take it long in the blind and hope for the best, because we can see Solana is actually underperforming versus Bitcoin. Most altcoins are right now. So we want to recognize that pairing is poor. Okay, so taking a look here. Good news is, from a liquidation standpoint, majority, if not all, liquidation has been swept to the downside. So we got 177 to 188 as that upper range. Okay, so good stuff here in that sense. Based on liquidation alone, we should see some recovery here. But that's not how you trade. We want to make sure that Solana is establishing higher highs and higher lows first before you consider a long position. Don't just buy the dip. But this does look like a kind of a larger bullish type of flag pattern too. So there's that. Anyways, having said that, 158 to 155 is that lower area there. We got maybe about 4 billion in liquidation below the price. So that's still quite substantial. What is also substantial here, and this is an interesting thing, is that Bitcoin is basically at break even for its liquidation delta, telling us we have just as many longs as we do shorts in the market for Bitcoin right now. Solana, on the other hand, has about 1.2, 1.4 billion in liquidation delta to the downside, implying there's more selling pressure. So what do you do against that, folks? Well, it's not a difficult answer. You don't trade against it. So you don't take a long into that much resistance, really. That's what it boils down to. Because I don't know if you ever tried to walk into oncoming traffic. It's kind of difficult, right? You're better off going around it or just waiting for the traffic to die down. That's kind of what we need to do as responsible traders. Now, is everyone responsible? No. That's probably why you're watching this in the first place. But on the same accord, nobody's perfect. It's okay if you make some mistakes. Just learn from it and recognize that going against the grain isn't always the best strategy. 175 and 180 are the two local points of control based on open interest here, basically letting us know that we have significant resistance above us. We do also have control below us as well, based on open interest at 155. That's that previous high. Okay, so if you kind of see the previous high, 155, that's probably going to be a likely area of consideration for a long and or just an initial take profit target on a short. Or for us, that's probably our tertiary take profit target, because I think we secured the majority of a profit at 162. So when we look at this here, we can see this fair value gap. If I recall correctly, that's a macro fair value gap on the daily. There it is right there, 150 to 160. So if we travel in the 150s, 160s range, it's not a bad idea to consider dollar cost averaging. But do you dollar cost average into a high leveraged long position? No, you don't do that. Try not to get in the habit of adding to your margin to save trades. Let your stop loss hit. It's okay. Me personally, I hate stop losses in the sense of I like to close them before we hit them. In other words, my invalidation level is before my stop loss, so I'll typically close my trade before I hit that level. I do actually love stop losses, by the way. They're very important. They are your friend, but I'm just implying that my margins are a little different than most. If you trade underneath me, you'll know that. Anyways, cryptocash.tech, link down below if you want to be part of our Trading Academy community or Signals group. This is also important too. This is a pretty sweet deal here for Bitunix. For the next month, they have a Model 3 up for grabs. It's pretty nice. So check it out. If you use the link down below, of course, to register, you'll be qualified for this automatically. And if you've ever used my link to register in the past, you're also eligible too. So that goes for my few hundred traders underneath me there. So what I want to talk about here though on the daily is, once more, not just the fair value gap, but some of these indicators here kind of letting us know that we're trending towards either A, a potential bottom, or B, a significant divergence. I don't personally think we're going to see much lower than 150 if we even come there. Just depends on Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. I mean, you take a look here at Bitcoin dominance, folks. It's pretty bad. We're right back up where we started here, and most alts have basically trimmed all the potential profit in the most recent time frames, and it's just not really a great situation here, especially with Bitcoin. Just say Bitcoin doesn't break its all-time high, it continues lower. Really, what do you think is going to happen from altcoins? They're mostly going to fill these gaps, and they're going to retest their local highs, which is on the cards here. So 150, I think, is a distinct probability here for Solana, pending Bitcoin runs towards 100,000. Bitcoin goes sideways and up, we're all good, but I just don't really like this range of 105,000 for Bitcoin. It's not a very comfortable place to trade. Anyways, the local liquidation range has been swept. The daily time frame pretty much just telling us we're likely to continue lower based on divergences, both stochastic and MACD. Let's take a look at the 4-hour and recognize here a few things. When we look at the 4-hour time frame, it is important to understand that being under 50 on the RSI is generally construed as a bearish sign. So you don't want to buy into that. We're also underneath our moving average. Stochastic, yeah, swinging up a little bit. It's a slight consolation, but if you've watched my videos for any stretch of time, you don't trade on consolation. It's the same thing. It's the same component or aspect of trading when some of these ridiculous, moon boys are telling you to trade, right? They're going to catch some good wins. They're going to share their good results, but they're going to have some pretty bad days, and you're going to be right there with them if you continue to just take longs based on their emotional prowess. Okay, so please understand from a technical standpoint, there's not much here saying that we should take a long here at this point. You're better off waiting for 150 to 156, this 0.618 golden pocket, and or the local high to retest as a new low. Those are the things I look for, and that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. So I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Thank you for the awesome feedback. Oops, forgot to post this guy here. Anyways, it's all available there for you. I'll post that later. But thank you so much once more, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.